Dear meritorious Upasakas and Upasikas, welcome to this special Sunday Dhamma program, who are present here and who are online. Today we are going to talk about how the Buddha delicately nurtured before becoming Buddha, before his enlightenment in his lay life. And how his thinking process that made him to become a renunciate. Not many suttas described about his lay life. There are only a few suttas describing his lay life as a prince. Buddha himself told this discourse when he was at Savatthi. We can find this sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, Numerical Discourses, Book of Threes, Sutta number 39. Buddha addressed bhikkhus. I was delicately nurtured, most delicately nurtured, extremely delicately nurtured. He was talking about his prince life. At my father's residence, 3 lotus ponds were made just for my enjoyment. His father loved the Prince Siddhartha. His name was Prince Siddhartha, may you know. He loved his son very much. So he made 3 ponds for his exclusively for himself, for Prince Siddhartha, which was to be Buddha. In one of the ponds, there are blue lotuses. And in another pond, there are red lotuses. And the third one with white lotuses. So Pali, they are Uppala, Padma, Pundarika. Blue lotuses, red or pink lotuses, and white lotuses. Again, he is continuing. I used sandalwood from Kasi. Kasi, still now also there. We can recognize it by its capital, Varanasi, which was one of the 16 major cities at that time. And clothes also, turbans, jackets, lower robes, upper robes, all are from this Kasi. At the time, Kasi was one of the 16 major countries and its capital, Varanasi. Now also we can get clothes from Varanasi, Banaras silk. So this is eternal city. White parasol was held over his head, always 24/7, night and day, in order to protect from cold, heat, grass, dust, and dew or dampness. So luxury. Who will wear parasol, umbrella at night? Here comes an interesting point. His father made him 3 palaces. One for winter season, one for summer season, one for rainy season. 3 palaces for 3 seasons, exclusively for him, exclusively for to be Buddha, Siddhartha, Prince. Classical commentary states that all the 3 palaces are of same height. But the palace which was used for winter has got 9 stories. Winter means usually we know cold season. So same building, 9 stories means the height of each story will be less, so that it can retain hotness or warmness. And summer palace, it has got only 5 stories. Same height, 5 stories. Means it can allow air to circulate, wind to come in, and to keep the palace cool. And the third palace, which was used for rainy season, contains 7 stories. 7-story palace that was building, 7-story building. Why? Why? Because 7 is lesser than 9, more than 5. So to keep medium temperature. So luxurious. At that time, no ACs are available, I think. So they constructed in such a fashion that in every season it could be comfortable. So 3 different palaces. So luxurious. And he is saying to his disciples, bhikkhus, I stayed in the palace without coming downstairs in the 4 months of the rainy season. At the time, 3 seasons only, winter, summer, and rainy seasons in North India at that time. So for each 4 months, winter 4 months, summer 4 months, and rainy season 4 months. In the rainy season, I would not come downstairs for entire 4 months, staying in that palace only, not coming even outside, not even coming downstairs. I was entertained by musicians, only entertainment for 4 months. That too, musicians, none of them were men, only female musicians. That was his luxurious life. Perhaps you may have observed in the premises of our vihara, in our vihara only, we have got sacred Mahastupa, great stupa, which is beautiful. It is actually a replica of Amaravati Stupa. In Amaravati Stupa, we reproduce the same panels in that Amaravati Stupa, but in smaller size. In that, we can see In this stupa, you can see the birth of Buddha. Before birth, his mother actually got a dream in which white elephant comes. These are all depicted. After that, his birth and his luxurious life. Third panel, I think. Third panel is actually depicting his luxurious life. His rainy season palace. You can see. Up to his parinirvana, and after that also distribution of his bodily dhatus also depicted, you can see. So such was his luxurious life. He is further telling, while other houses, other areas, bond servants and workers in other houses were given rough gruel as food and pickles to eat. But my father's residents, fine rice with meat were given to them, to slaves and workers. Amid such prosperity and such a delicate lifestyle, I thought, such was his luxurious life. Amid of this luxurious lifestyle, he thought, when an uneducated ordinary person, in Pali it is Putujjana, they call. Putujjana means ordinary person, who is not listened to the Dhamma, who is unaware what is reality, what is not. In Pali, another word is also there, Asutava, who is not heard about the Dhamma. When ordinary uneducated person who is grow old, not being exempted from old age, sees someone else who is old. See, he is also not exempted from old. He is also, now he is actually young, but he is liable to old age, not exempted from old age. If he sees another person who is old, they horrified, they repelled, they disgust, overlooking the fact that one day they themselves are in the same situations. See how Bhagavan, to be Buddha, actually not Bhagavan, to be Buddha is thinking. When he was prince, he is in a mid of luxurious life. Usually in luxurious life, we don't think these things. If everything is going well, we don't even care about anything. He is in his prime, in his youth, so luxurious, but he is thinking about these things. So when normal people see old people, he get horrified, repelled, disgusted, although one day he became old, but he overlooked. But since I too am liable to grow old, it would not be appropriate for me to be horrified, embarrassed and disgusted when seeing old people. Someone is old, you should not feel like this. Reflecting like this, I entirely gave up the vanity of youth. In Pali, it is called Yabbanamada. By thinking this, he entirely is the key word, entirely gave up the vanity, pride of youth. When we are in youth, we are very proud of our youth, vanity of youth. So he eliminated this one. And second thing, similarly, when an ordinary uneducated person who is liable to sick, not being exempt from sickness, sees someone else who is sick, they are horrified. They are horrified when they see sick person. Wow. Repelled. They don't like to be with them. And disgusted. So much of hatred towards those sick people. Overlooking that, the fact that they themselves are in the same situations. Sooner or later, they also may get sick. They overlook these things and horrified, repelled, and disgust towards those sick people. But since I too am liable to get sick, it would be not appropriate for me to be horrified, embarrassed, or disgusted when I see someone else who is sick. Reflecting. See, he is reflecting on these things. Like that, I entirely gave up the vanity of health. We feel proud. Oh, I am healthy. When we see the sick people, usually ordinary people, they horrify, they embarrass, they disgust towards the sick people. So this is Arogya Mada. He eliminated entirely this pride of health. Pride of youth first eliminated, pride of health also eliminated. Third one, ordinary uneducated person who is liable to die, not being exempt from death, sees someone who is dead. Have you ever seen dead person? We get horrified, we get repelled, we get disgust. We don't want to stay much time. Overlooking the fact that they themselves are in the same situation. Ordinary people can't contemplate, can't reflect on these things. They feel disgust, horrified, and repelled by seeing a dead body. But since I too not exempted from death, I am too liable to die, it would not appropriate for me to be horrified or embarrassed or and disgust when I see someone else who is dead. This was Bhagavan Buddha's contemplation. Reflecting like this, I entirely gave up the vanity of life. Jivita Mada. Here Bhagavan Buddha is talking about three kinds of vanities. Pride. One, youth. Second, health. Third one is death. Vanity of life. So Bhagavan Buddha again continuing, because there are three vanities. What are they? Vanity of youth, vanity of health, vanity of life. Intoxicated with the vanity of youth, an uneducated, ordinary person do bad things by way of body. See, all we have to do is, we do whether they are good things or bad things with body, with speech, or with mind. These are all three doors of actions. Whether they are good actions or bad actions, we do with these three doors only. So this ordinary person with the intoxication of vanity of youth, he does badly actions. He frowns. He may attack also with body. When he saw old people, they may attack also. So physically, they are doing bad things. And speech also, scolding them, insulting them by seeing old people. Mind also, angry, hatred towards them, aversion. So when their body breaks up after death, see, if you do these unwholesome actions after death, after breaking up body, they are reborn in place of loss, apaya, duggati, bad place, bad destination, underworld, or even end up in a hell. So this intoxication of youth caused, the consequence of it is this apaya, hell, loss, bad place, bad destinations. Similarly, intoxicated with the vanity of youth, health, or life, a bhikkhu resigns the teaching and return to the lesser life. See, similarly, this vanity of intoxication with the vanity of health also, we do unwholesome bodily, speech actions and mind actions. Similarly, intoxication of with the vanity of life, we do bodily, verbal and mind actions. All are lead to, after death, we go to hell or underworld or bad destinations, loss. These are all the consequences of these actions. If monks are actually intoxicated with the youth, with these three vanities, they resent the training and return to the lesser life. For all, sickness is natural, so old age and death. But ordinary people feel disgusted. So, Bhagavan Buddha here giving an important this thing. If I were to be disgusted with these three intoxicant creatures whose nature is such that it would not be appropriate for me, since my life is just the same. Our life is also same. Whenever see an old person, you contemplate, one day I will also become old. When you see a sick person, you contemplate, one day I also become sick. If you see a dead person, you reflect, one day I will also be same. I haven't got any exemption. So by that way, you can master all vanities of health, youth, and even life. After that, Bhagavan, to be Buddha, Bodhisattva, seeing renunciation as sanctuary, zeal sprang up in me as I look to extinguished. Now, I am unable to indulge in sensual pleasures. After thinking that he could not continue for the quest of sensual pleasures, there is no turning back. I am committed to the spiritual life. He resolved, no. Now, according to classic commentary, it is before enlightenment, these stanzas were told. No going back. So he felt shelter in, sanctuary in renunciation. So Bhagavan Buddha told this with a purpose. See, three vanities, how they lead us to bad destinations, to hell, to animal world, like this. So the sutta ends here. You to contemplate on these facts. These are all actually facts. When everything is fine, we usually don't contemplate on those things, except Buddha. We know, but our actions are not according to these things. One day I will die, everybody knows. But why? Why our behavior is like that? Why? Because we don't contemplate more and more. Understanding is one thing. You sit for 5 minutes and contemplate every day like these things. Then your intoxication will come down. Intoxication of vanity will come down. Yabbana mada, arogya mada, jivita mada. These are all three things. He discussed these things. That's why we can find this sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, Book of Threes. So you may all contemplate on those things and reduce these vanities and progress further and attain the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. May all beings be happy. Bhavatu sabba mangalam, rakhantu sabba devata, sabba buddhanu bhavena, sabba dhammanu bhavena, sabba sanghanu bhavena, sada suddhi bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. If anybody have any doubts, you are feel free to ask. Have got anybody has any doubts regarding this sutta? If anybody, if all are satisfied, then conclude with metta bhavana. Sukhi bhaveyang nidukho ahang nichang ahang viya hitacha me sukhi honto majjhatha thachaverino imam higama khetam hi satta honto sukhi sada tatho paranchara jesu Chakavalesu jantuno. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.